Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome, folks. Today, the Hungry Gamer is back with another mini preview. And today, we are talking about World Stitchers from Pepin van Loon with art by Marlies Berens and from Broken Mill Games. I do apologize for mispronouncing any of those names. Now, what this game is this is a 1 to 4 player tile laying game. And essentially what's happening in this game is each player is a spirit, or I forget exactly what they're called, but maybe you're a giant fat cat riding a turtle or a dragon creature, whatever, and you are coming together to create this new world. Stitch together pieces of terrain into a new world. And as you do that, you'll be creating energy by stitching the terrain together. And as you stitch together like types of terrain, energy will spread across it. You'll be able to move around through the terrain, picking up this energy. And you'll then be spending the energy either to increase your stamina, meaning you're going to get more tiles that you can use, which allow you to move further or on different terrain each time you move, or you're going to be using that energy to build these spires, these towers. And each of these towers is going to be worth points, and energy is going to be worth points at the end of the game. The first person to build 3 towers will trigger the end of the game, and whoever has the most points at the end is the winner of the friendly competition, the one that gets to kind of claim the bragging rights for this new world. And what's going to happen is, on your turn, you're going to do one of a couple of things. Either you're going to increase your stamina, as I mentioned, meaning you'll take a tile, you'll put it in your stamina, and you're going to use that stamina to move at the end of each turn. And for each tile you have, you get to move one space, one little land type tile. And depending on which type of tiles you have, that tells you what types of land you can move on. Or you're going to take a tile out of the sky or the market that's there, and you're going to place it onto the land. And you have to place it to where it's touching 2 different pieces of other tiles. But then, as you connect it to other types of land, the tile you place will get an energy on each side, and then every like type of land that's connected to that will kind of spawn energy on it as well. And then as you move around, you'll be picking up that energy. Or you can go ahead and you can buy a spire. And when you buy the spire, then great, you'll be getting those points. End of the game, you get points, as I said, for the spires and for the extra energy that you have. That all sounds pretty simple. However, there's also several different modules that you can add into the game. And I'll say each of these modules also works with the solo mode as well, and you can kind of plug those in. The solo mode plays very, very, very quickly and very simply. So what do I like about this game? First, I love this kind of the look of it. The land terrain itself is not particularly special to look at, but it has this kind of fun, just like the big bits of yarn that are kind of stitching everything together. It just, I don't know, something very charming about it. I like the way it looks. In addition to that, the meeples that you have, the different spirits or whatever that you're taking on the form of, they're just delightful. Like I said, I love the big fat cat riding a turtle. There's something about that just just makes you smile every time you look at it. So I like the vibe of the world. I also like just the relative simplicity of it. It's just a gentle game you're going to play. It reminds me of a kinder, gentler Land vs. Sea. And what I mean by that is, yes, you might put something down that might mess with somebody, but there's not really any messing with people. You're going to put tiles down and energy is going to pop up all over the place, which odds are you're going to be helping other players. And it's just very gentle and kind. You're moving around. You can sit there, you can have a coffee and play, and it's gentle, it's pleasant. But along with that, there are the different modules that just add a little bit to it, adds a little bit of crunch to it. And I really view this kind of as a gateway game that you can add in some of these modules to kind of increase the complexity just a little bit. And then along with that, I think the solo mode works pretty well. I have to admit, the first time I played it, I thought, well, I'm just going to kick the crap out of this solo mode. And then suddenly at the end, boom, it came back and beat me. So the solo actually does work pretty well. You do have to think about what's going on. It's very easy to manage. It has a little bit of knowing what's coming and then a little bit of surprise each round, which I think does work really well. And it is a pretty good challenge. So what are my quibbles with the game? The first is I'll come right back to the solo mode. I do think if I were to play this 7 times, 6 times, something like that. I haven't played the solo mode that many. I only played the solo mode 3 times. But if I were to play it a lot, I think then I would find that, okay, I got this figured out, and I think I would probably win more often than not. Though, again, like with the core game, adding those modules to that does kind of increase that complexity and varies that up a little bit. My other quibble with the game is, as I said, this is a very light, gentle game that is pleasant to play, but there is not a ton of depth here. There is some, and there's more than meets the eye. There's more than you think there is, but there's not a ton going on here. It is very much a quick, easy, light, gentle game that you can play with just about anybody. And so, because you can play it with just about anybody, the heaviest gamers out there probably aren't going to be particularly interested in this, and I think that's okay. But really, that's it, folks. I think this is just a lovely little game. And it's a perfect gateway game. You can't quite see it. I have Flamecraft, and for me, you'll be hearing at some point my thoughts, but this is, I think, one of the best family weight games that come out recently. But there are still some people that'll look at that and be, I'm doing this and with all the shops, and I don't quite understand. So for that kind of person, I'm going to guide you to a game like World Stitchers, because it's even less complicated. Yes, there are things going on. Yes, you are building out this world. You have important decisions to make as you put these tiles down. Where's that going to pop the energy up? When do I want to use my energy to increase my stamina versus when do I want to use my energy to go ahead and buy one of those spires? Do I want to buy a spire right now that's maybe worth less points in hopes that maybe the next one's not going to be worse? Or do I want to just kind of wait and see who does what? All of these different things are interesting decisions you have to make, but again, it's just so light that anybody can play this game. And so if you are looking for the gateway to the gateway, this might be it. If you like tile laying, and again, you're looking for that super gateway game, again, this just might be it. Or if you're just looking for something that you can take and you can play in a relatively small space, especially if you're thinking about playing it solo, sit down, have a coffee, have a drink, whatever. You can play a game while you're waiting for your food to be delivered because it doesn't take up a lot of space on the table when you're playing the solo game where it's just 2 players. So there you have it, folks. That is World Stitchers. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.